gap between when nearly 15,000 Philadelphians are no longer thriving under poverty level. This is a step in the right direction, and I look forward to seeing that number drop even lower. In addition to serving on the Small Business Committee, I also serve on the Ways and Means Committee, the oldest standing committee in the Congress. And among matters, the committee handles the important issue of trade. On my recent trip to the Ivory Coast, we discussed the African Growth and Opportunity Act. I'm happy to hear that the trade agreement has spawned economic advancement, and minority-owned businesses are uniquely suited for international businesses. In America, they are twice likely to export goods, 3 times likely to already have international operation, and 6 times more likely to conduct businesses in language other than English. Consequently, trade partnerships with countries such as those in Africa are significant in supporting these businesses and promoting economic growth. Communities are stronger when they work together. It is in the interest of both of us to work together as we share common values and goals. We both want to see our citizens and our economies prosper. We both believe in hard work and commitment. America and Philadelphia has much to gain from a rising Africa. Let me repeat that. America and Philadelphia has much to gain from a rising Africa. U.S. exports. Africa's consumer market provides significant potential in many different industries. Although as a source of textiles, this truly creates jobs. Without trade agreements, small businesses in Ivory Coast and Philadelphia would have difficult competing in the world economy. Cooperation between our communities and benefits the greater good. Our nation's citizens are better off economically when we work together. So I want to sincerely thank all of you today for doing what you do. The matching up of all of you together sends a significant comment to all of America as well as Africa. We want this friendship and this relationship, and that's why I'm here today, to send that message. When I had the opportunity to be in the Ivory Coast, I received a very great welcome in the period of time that I was there. And I value there and the growth and opportunity, not just in the Ivory Coast, but all throughout Africa. So again, I want to thank you, and I hope you make the most of today. Thank you very much.
Support for the Ivory Coast. At this point, as words of welcome, at this point, I'd like to introduce Mamadou Kone as a co-sponsor from the Embassy of Ivory Coast to introduce our first speaker.
Oh, thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing this morning? We good? All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Michelle, for the introduction. My name is Frank Sahou. I'm the president of the U.S. Ivory Coast Chamber of Commerce, and I'm going to be your moderator today. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's with the pleasure that I will please let's stand up and welcome our minister, Mr. Assis Esmail. So we have our ambassador, Mr. Enza Kamara, with Mr. Assis Esmail, Minister of Investment in Ivory Coast. Thank you. So we have a very nice program this morning. Michelle, I hope you don't mind me giving out the program and everything. You good? All right. So we have a very nice program this morning, and while the forum is underway. Thank you. For the first time in our history here in Philadelphia, you can see that Ivory Coast is putting a lot to grow the SMEs, and that's the reason why we partner with the SBA to make sure that we have a prosperous relationship between both countries. we're gonna be having 5 speakers this morning. Est-ce que tout le monde m'entend? Tout le monde comprend ce que je dis? Ou bien on a besoin de traduire? Traduire, ok. So some people want me to... Simplement que pour la première fois dans notre histoire, nous avons un forum commercial de centre envergure parce que nous avons une grande délégation qui vient de la Côte d'Ivoire et nous avons aussi beaucoup de participants américains. Donc, merci pour le déplacement et nous espérons simplement que ce forum sera un succès. We're going to be having at least 5 speakers, and without further ado, I will be asking you to please help me welcome Mr. John Fleming, who is the director of SBA in Delaware District Office. Please, let's welcome Mr. John Fleming.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I will not be translating, I see from your commitment to be here today, the partnership is important to you as much as it's important to us. On behalf of Regional Administrator Steve Bolger, he's asked me to be here to represent him and welcome you to SBA's Region 3 area. Just as a reminder, we also have a booth next door in the next room over, and we have local folks from the district office that can help you understand SBA's programs and services and how that can make you prosper and help your small business. And really, small business is the key to this. You know, government can make the environment better. We can introduce you to the right contacts, but you, the small business people in the room, are the ones that we rely on the most. So hope you have a good conference. Enjoy your time here, and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Mr. John Fleming. Really appreciate your input. Now, it's with a pleasure that I will introduce you, our president of the African Caribbean Business Council, Victoria Simone.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to welcome you all to the first of its kind, the first Prosper Africa event of here. My name is Victoria Sonome, the president of the African Caribbean Business Council. I was also born and raised in the country of Botswana, down in Southern Africa. What we seek to do here in Philadelphia is the African and Caribbean Business Council. We seek to highly promote international trade in this context, international trade and investment between Africa, the Caribbean, and the Philadelphia region. We have, in the past several years, hosted trade missions to Ghana, Burkina Faso, Trinidad and Tobago, Cameroon, and Gabon. The main goal of these trade missions was to make, or is to make, Philadelphia the diaspora destination for business and uncover more opportunities for exporters on both spectrums, both the United States and Africa. We also seek to enhance development trade relations. We want to also prove ahead of its kind in the USA, trying to connect small businesses on both sides, on both Côte d'Ivoire and the United States. I keep Tanya and Theo very busy in the next year, so they have to be ready. That's all I have for you. I welcome you all. I hope you enjoy the program today and you do some networking and take a lot back home with you. Stay connected. We hope you can be member businesses with the organization of ACBC, the African Caribbean Business Council, ACBCphilly.net, www.acbcphilly.net. Welcome and enjoy your day today.
Thank you so much, Victoria Simone, who is the president of the African and Caribbean Business Council. Thank you so much for your participation. Now, without further ado, I will be introducing you our region who was willing and able to bring everybody together, because for the first time in our history, we have at least 40 SMEs coming all the way up from Africa to here. I'm talking about our ambassador, His Excellency Enza Kamara.
Excellence, Monsieur le Ministre, ici.
Excellence, Monsieur. Excellence, Mr. Minister, Esmer.
Monsieur John Essen, secrétaire exécutif de Prosper Africa.
Mr. John Eston,
Secrétaire exécutif
Executive Secretary
de Prosper Africa.
of Prosper Africa.
Monsieur David Glacom, administrateur de Small Business Administration.
Mr. David, Administrator of the SBA.
Glacom. Mesdames et Messieurs les représentants des organisations gouvernementales américaines,
Ladies and gentlemen from the U.S. government,
Son Excellence Hippo,
His Excellency Ipo,
le représentant permanent de la Côte d'Ivoire,
Representative,
Mesdames et Messieurs les représentants du secteur privé,
ladies and gentlemen from the private sector,
chers partenaires, représentants de la Côte d'Ivoire,
dear partner representing Côte d'Ivoire,
distingués participants,
dear participants,
Mesdames et Messieurs,
ladies and gentlemen,
Messieurs et Mesdames des médias.
ladies and gentlemen from the media.
Après l'événement qui s'est tenu le 14 et 15 novembre 2018 à Washington, D.C.,
After the event that was held on the 14th and the 15th in D.C.,
nous voici aujourd'hui rassemblés à Philadelphie.
here we are today together in Philadelphia.
Philadelphie, la première capitale des États-Unis
Philadelphia was the first capital of the United States
et la Mecque historique également des États-Unis.
and a historical figure in the United States history.
Philadelphie est une ville qui a su continuellement prouver son amitié,
Philadelphia is a city who already shown his friendship,
son hospitalité à la Côte d'Ivoire,
the hospitality to Côte d'Ivoire,
aux Africains.
to African people.
Et Philadelphie nous accueille aujourd'hui pour la première édition du Forum Prosper Africa
So Philadelphia is welcoming us today for the first edition of Prosper Africa
et la deuxième édition de l'atelier de coopération et de partenariat interagences ivoiriennes et américaines.
and for the second edition of the inter-partnership agency, Côte d'Ivoire, United States.
Dans un premier temps,
In the first time,
je voudrais remercier l'administration des petites et moyennes entreprises américaines
I would like to thank the SBA administration
et ainsi que
and also
le Conseil des PME et des PMI africaines et caribéennes de Philadelphie
the African and Caribbean Business Council
pour leur travail.
for the work.
Je salue également leur diligence et leur conscience professionnelle
I would like to acknowledge also the leadership on the job that they've been doing right now.
durant l'organisation de cet événement.
Our U.S. government,
Désiré d'élaborer
who's willing to elaborate
une nouvelle stratégie africaine,
a new African strategy
en termes de relations économiques,
in terms of economical relationship
en se focalisant
with a focus
sur les investissements privés
on private investment
et les accords de libre-échange bilatéraux.
and an agreement of free trade.
Il fait également écho
It's also echoing
à la feuille de route de son Excellence M. Alassane Ouattara
to the initiative of our President, our President Alassane Ouattara,
président de la République de Côte d'Ivoire,
President of Côte d'Ivoire,
qui s'efforce de créer un environnement attrayant pour les investisseurs étrangers.
whose under leadership we are building a strong partnership with the United States.
Pour favoriser ces échanges commerciaux,
To allow those trades between the U.S. and Côte d'Ivoire,
il est important que chacun comprenne et respecte les enjeux inhérents au marché africain.
it's very important that everybody understand and adhere to some of the principle of,
Aux enjeux inhérents au marché africain,
to the African market
tout en ayant une pleine conscience de ses spécificités.
with a specific conscience of,
Tout en ayant une pleine conscience
with a focus on the conscience of
de ses spécificités.
Specificities.
Le service de promotion économique de Côte d'Ivoire
The Economic Service of Promotion of Côte d'Ivoire
a choisi de mettre en lumière
choose to put in the highlight a big lack of, if I can say that,
une grosse Ce phénomène est dû à une forte disparité
This phenomenon was due to a big lack of, there was a emptiness
entre les grosses entreprises
between big enterprises
et les petites et moyennes entreprises
and small SMEs enterprises
qui ne sont pas en mesure
who are not able
de garantir la même compétitivité
to guarantee the same competitiveness
que les grandes enseignes.
compared to the big ones.
Ce forum
This forum
a été mis en place
was put in place,
pour tout d'abord brandir les atouts et démythifier l'économique
economical
et démographique
and demographic,
du pays où elles sont implantées.
of the country where they are implanted.
À travers ce forum,
With that forum,
nous voulons rappeler à notre homologue américain
we're trying to bring our American partners
que la Côte d'Ivoire
that Côte d'Ivoire
n'est pas rétive au développement.
is not against or is not lined up against a development.
Elle est un marché exploité au minimum de ses compétences
Côte d'Ivoire has a big market which is not exploited,
et je suis sûr
and I'm sure
qu'elle saura démontrer sa compétitivité
so Côte d'Ivoire will show its competitiveness
en s'ouvrant davantage
to be open more often
sur le marché américain.
on an international market.
Pour ce faire,
So for that,
nos PME
our small and medium enterprises
se doivent d'adopter une ligne de conduite exemplaire
have to make sure that they have a working plan
et conforme à un écosystème favorable aux investissements.
which is conform and adhere to the international business plan.
Je reprends.
Okay.
Nos PME
Our small business enterprise
se doivent d'adopter une ligne de conduite
have to adopt a conduct
exemplaire
which is going to be exemplary
et conforme
and conform
à un écosystème
to ecosystem
favorable
which is going to be favorable
aux investissements.
to investment.
Cette conformité
This conformity
inclut l'obtention des licences,
will include richness,
l'obtention des licences
will include obtaining licenses
et certifications adéquates,
and adequate certification
une base de données suffisamment complète
with a database which is going to be fulfilled
pour informer
to inform
sur l'état de santé,
on the health of the economy,
de santé de l'entreprise en question.
on the health this medium enterprise health,
L'éducation
education,
et la formation de ses employés embauchés dans le PM. Les représentants des organismes gouvernementaux américains
the U.S. representative of government
en nous tendent une main juste et sincère.
to give us a hand, which is going to be fair and sincere.
C'est ainsi
So
que cet événement
this is the reason why this event
prend tout son sens,
will take all these senses,
puisqu'il sera une plateforme
because it's going to be a platform
pour les opérateurs économiques,
for our economical operator,
afin que
so that
ces derniers puissent se familiariser avec les besoins,
so that they can be familiar with our needs,
avec les besoins de leurs interlocuteurs.
so that they can be familiar with the needs of the people from Côte d'Ivoire.
Nous souhaitons que ce rassemblement
We are wishing that this gathering
soit le préambule
will be a first step
d'une nouvelle ère économique
for a new economic era
pour la Côte d'Ivoire et les États-Unis.
for Côte d'Ivoire and the United States.
Monsieur le ministre,
Mr. the Minister,
Monsieur John Henson,
Mr. John Henson,
Monsieur le secrétaire exécutif de Prosper Africa,
Mr. Executive Director of Prosper Africa,
Monsieur David Glacom,
Mr. David Glacom,
administrateur du SBA,
SBA Administrator,
Mesdames et Messieurs les représentants des organisations gouvernementales américaines,
ladies and gentlemen from the NGO, American NGOs,
Son Excellence Hippo,
His Excellency Ipo,
Mesdames et Messieurs les représentants des ministres,
ladies and gentlemen representing the ministers,
Messieurs les représentants du secteur privé,
the representatives of private sectors,
chers partenaires,
thank you very much. Sorry if I was stumbling a little bit. I wasn't ready to. Let's go about, thank you so much, His Excellency, for your input. Really appreciate it. Now, without further ado, I will be calling on the stage to make a speech His Excellency of the Ambassador of Côte d'Ivoire to the UN, Ambassador Désiré Ipo.
Monsieur le ministre, auprès du Premier ministre,
Director of SBA,
Madame Victoria Senom, présidente de la Chambre de commerce afro-caribéenne,
Mrs. Victoria Simonin, President of ACBC,
Excellence Monsieur l'ambassadeur Enza Camara,
Excellence Enza Kamara,
distingués chefs d'entreprise,
distinguished Dear Enterprises,
Mesdames et Messieurs,
ladies and gentlemen,
tous en vos rangs et grades.
thank you so much.
À l'entame de mon propos,
At the beginning of my speech,
permettez-moi de vous traduire les profonds regrets de son Excellence Monsieur Léon Kakou-Adom,
please allow me to apologize for not being here. I was Ambassador Mr. Leon Kakou,
représentant permanent de la République de Côte d'Ivoire auprès des Nations Unies,
permanent representative of Côte d'Ivoire to the United Nations,
qui aurait été ravi d'être avec vous ce matin,
who was wishing to be here with us this morning.
n'eût été sa participation
If it wasn't because of his participation
à la visite qu'effectue en ce moment, même à Abidjan,
to the visit,
de représenter à cette deuxième édition
he gave me the honor to represent him to this second edition
de l'atelier de coopération et de partenariat interagences pour la promotion des PME ivoiriennes
of this forum, which is basically the Nomin Forum, Prosper Africa Interagency,
et d'exprimer aux organisateurs
and to express to the organizer
sa profonde gratitude pour l'invitation qui lui a été adressée.
his just thanks for being able to organize this forum.
Il m'est également agréable d'adresser au nom du représentant permanent
Also, is with a pleasure that in the name of the UN representative,
mes chaleureuses félicitations à l'ambassadeur Enza Camara
my warmest felicitation to Mr. Enza Kamara
et à toute l'équipe
and to his team
pour l'initiative
for this initiative
et la parfaite organisation de cette importante manifestation.
and this well done organization for this well done organization.
Je salue enfin la participation remarquée à cet atelier
I would like also to welcome this remarkable participation at this forum
de hautes personnalités et des structures telles que l'agence du gouvernement américain en
De-
charge des petites et moyennes entreprises
I would like to acknowledge the SBA organization
qui œuvre d'arrache-pied pour le lancement de l'ambitieux programme commercial du gouvernement américain intitulé Prosper Africa,
who's basically fighting and doing everything to make sure that
économique et commercial,
it's giving us the opportunity to consolidate both the relationship between the United States and Côte d'Ivoire
qui existe si heureusement entre les États-Unis d'Amérique et la Côte d'Ivoire.
that has been existing luckily between Côte d'Ivoire and the United States.
Ce forum offre également l'occasion au secteur privé ivoirien
This forum also provides the opportunity for private sector of Côte d'Ivoire
d'apporter sa contribution
to bring the contribution
à travers des partenariats fructueux avec les PME américaines
between networking with American SMEs
aux efforts inlassables de son Excellence M. Alassane Ouattara
that was made possible to the vision of our leader, the President Alassane Ouattara,
président de la République de Côte d'Ivoire
President de la République de President of Côte d'Ivoire Republic,
et du gouvernement ivoirien
and the government
en vue du développement économique et social de notre pays,
to provide an economical and social development of Côte d'Ivoire,
dont les PME constituent un maillon essentiel
that the SMEs in Côte d'Ivoire are like at the base of a development which are very essential
en termes de création d'emplois, notamment pour les jeunes et les femmes.
in terms of create employment specifically designed for youth in Côte d'Ivoire.
Du reste, lors de la présidence ivoirienne du Conseil de sécurité en décembre 2018, lors de la présidence ivoirienne du Conseil de sécurité en décembre 2018,
In December 2018, during the presidents of Côte d'Ivoire
à the Security Council,
Security Council,
après la brillante élection de notre pays à ce prestigieux organe des Nations Unies,
after the brilliant election of our country to that committee,
qui reste l'un des
who is
des plus remarquables succès diplomatiques de notre pays,
one of the remarkable success of Côte d'Ivoire at the UN,
le président de la République a dirigé un débat
our president directed a debate
sur le lien entre le développement et la consolidation de la paix.
in the link between peace and
Development.
and development.
Il a mis en exergue à cette occasion
He put forth
l'importance de la relance économique
the importance of economic project
ainsi que la satisfaction des besoins sociaux des populations.
with also the social satisfaction of the population in Côte d'Ivoire,
pour la pérennisation de la paix dans les pays sortant d'un conflit.
to make sure that the peace will be lasting in our countries.
Je voudrais donc,
I would like then,
en attendant que la voix plus autorisée de Monsieur le ministre le fasse tout à l'heure,
I would like them to wait until our minister come up here on the stage to make a speech later on.
inviter les entreprises présentes à cet atelier
Invite all enterprises who are present into this forum
à saisir les nombreuses opportunités d'affaires qu'offre la Côte d'Ivoire
to make sure that they can catch and seize all the opportunities that Côte d'Ivoire is offering. Enom Kaku,
un franc succès à la deuxième édition de ce forum
a
économique.
successful second edition of Prosper Africa.
Je vous remercie de
I would like to
votre
thank you.
aimable attention.
Thank you for your attention. Merci. Thank you so much, His Excellency, Ambassador Desiree Ipo. And I was told before that our minister come up on the stage and make a speech. We have a documentary on Côte d'Ivoire that's going to showcase our economy, our success, and that's going to show you basically the program or the vision of our president. No? Okay. Sure. So, all right, give me 1 second. So before the ministers come up here and speak, give me 1 second. I just want to make sure that I do the proper and introduction to him. Give me 1 second here. Before I can introduce you to our minister, Mr. Assis Esmail, Minister to the Prime, Minister in charge of the promotion of private investment. Let me tell you a little bit of background of who is Mr. Assis Esmail. Emmanuel Assis Esmail, he's the current Minister to the Prime Minister in charge of the promotion of private investment and the former head of CPC, the Ivorian Investment Promotion Agency. He graduated from ESCA, the Abidjan Business School. He has 35 years of professional experience in the national and international private sector. He began his career back in 1982 as an assistant auditor and then senior in the firm Arthur Anderson, before holding in 1998 the position of Deputy General Manager of the former Cosme Ivoire, CITA Group. From there, he began his international career in 2000 when he took the helm of Can we have the light on, please? Yeah, I don't really see where we are. Thank you. Sorry for the inconvenience here. So as I was saying, he was a former, so from there, he began his international career in 2000 when he took the helm of Bonaghi, the Coca-Cola bottling plant of the Equatorial Coca-Cola Building Company. He will then take up the post of regional director of the ECCBC group for Guinea, the Gambia, and Guinea-Bissau. In 2009, he returned to investment, Mr. Assis Emmanuel. Elle m'a dit que c'est pas possible. We cannot have the film?
Ladies and gentlemen, bonjour.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Bonjour from Côte d'Ivoire.
Bonjour from Côte d'Ivoire.
I am very glad to be with you. In the name of the Prime Minister, Amadou Gon Coulibaly, I greet you and tell you Aquaba, in this nice and historic town of Philadelphia. He will be very happy to be with us, but due to agenda constraint, he take me and give me this honor to represent him. So allow me to give his message in French, please. Thank you. Mesdames et messieurs, en vos rangs, grades et qualités,
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a sign of trust, our small business enterprises' capacity
Ivoirienne américaine a impulsé un accroissement durable des flux commerciaux de l'investissement en nos deux pays.
from Côte d'Ivoire and the United States to extend the trade between those two countries.
La tenue de ce forum de développement économique
The tenure of this economic forum
cadre parfaitement avec la vision du chef de l'État de la Côte d'Ivoire de faire du secteur privé le moteur de la croissance économique.
align perfectly of the vision of our president to make sure that our small SMEs are the driving sectors of our economy.
La présence très remarquée des ministères PCI dirigés par son directeur général, l'ambassadeur Enza Camara.
We are going to acknowledge, with a big effort, so today we are here specifically because one of the sponsors, which is very great for us, the sponsor of Spacey, directed by Mr. Enza Camara.
En effet, les nombreuses missions d'hommes nationales
With the perfect harmony with the agency in Côte d'Ivoire,
ont fortement contribué à la promotion d'instruments de développement économique entre la Côte d'Ivoire et les États-Unis d'Amérique.
contributed greatly for the trade development between Côte d'Ivoire and the United States,
Notamment l'AGOA,
notably the AGOA,
et à ouvrir les marchés américains aux PME ivoiriennes.
which allowed to open the United States market to SMEs from Côte d'Ivoire.
Je voudrais, Excellence, dans sauf votre modestie, vous témoigner en ce jour toute ma reconnaissance pour le travail considérable que vous abattez dans l'intérêt de la croissance du secteur privé ivoirien.
So to the Excellency, I would like to thank you and acknowledge all the big efforts
Mise en place au niveau national d'une stratégie en vue de tirer le meilleur profit possible de l'initiative Prosper Africa.
So with this program, we're sure that that's going to bring a result. That's going to be building an economic growth between Côte d'Ivoire and the United States.
Ce nouvel instrument mis en place par le gouvernement américain
This new instrument that was put in place by the U.S. government
en vue de développer le commerce et l'investissement de façon mutuellement bénéfique,
in sight of developing investment and trade between those two countries,
d'accroître l'autosuffisance et la résilience économique des économies africaines,
to have a growth in economic growth in our African countries,
de développer les classes moyennes dans les pays africains
to allow to have those SMEs in Africa to be developed,
et d'améliorer le climat des affaires à travers le continent.
and to bring a better business plan for the African countries.
Notre pays qui a fait du secteur privé le moteur de sa croissance
Our country who put in place a SME in front of its economic development,
devrait en tirer largement profit.
will
En termes d'hospitalité et d'ouverture,
ladies and gentlemen, Côte d'Ivoire that we are right now honoring, it's a land of hospitality and welcoming.
c'est un pays où il fait bon vivre
It's a country where it's well-being,
avec une économie en pleine croissance.
with an economy which is growing.
Notre pays a enregistré de 2012 à 2018 une croissance économique moyenne de 8,8%.
Our country registered from 2012 to 2018 an economic growth of at least 8.8%,
et est considéré comme une des économies les plus dynamiques sur la planète,
and is considered one of the dynamic economic in the world,
selon bien sûr le rapport de la Banque mondiale et du FMI.
according to the FMI and IMF and the World Bank report.
Cette performance économique et sociale
This economic performance
ne pouvait être imaginée à la sortie de la longue crise qu'a connue la Côte d'Ivoire
was
de
never been imagined after the crisis that we lived.
En effet, depuis son accession à la magistrature suprême,
Since his presidency,
Son Excellence, M. Alassane Ouattara,
His Excellency, our President, Mr. Alassane Ouattara,
les résultats suivants peuvent être relevés.
we can only count on those kind of results.
La paix et la sécurité sont parfaitement restaurées.
Security and peace are perfectly restored.
La cohésion sociale a été renforcée.
Social cohesion was reinforced.
L'économie est relancée et dynamique.
Our economy is back on front.
Ces résultats qui forcent le respect
Those results will force respect.
sont la conséquence de l'élaboration et de la mise en œuvre des passions de 2012 à 2015 et de 2016 à 2020.
From 2012 to 2015 and from 2016 to 2020.
Mais avec l'ambition
But with the ambition
d'inscrire la Côte d'Ivoire au rang des économies émergentes à l'horizon 2025.
to put Côte d'Ivoire in the fourth place of one of the greatest economies in the world.
La politique de développement économique impulsée par le président de la République
The economic development which was proposed by our president
accorde une place prépondérante au secteur privé,
allowed a place of first choice to our SMEs,
considéré à juste titre comme le principal moteur de la croissance économique.
which is basically considered that the principal forces of our economy.
Ainsi, d'importantes réformes structurelles et sectorielles
So that the government put an importance
à travers divers cadres d'échange.
with the full force of the implication of the SMEs.
Ces réformes ont permis à notre pays d'entrer dans le cercle vertueux des économies à forte croissance dans le monde,
Those reforms allow our country to be put in place to those growing economy in the world,
et de poser les fondements de notre émergence économique avec la plus conséquente du secteur privé.
which are the basis, our foundation for SMEs.
Ces réformes ont permis, par ailleurs,
Those reforms also allowed,
à la Côte d'Ivoire de se hisser à la 110e place
those reforms also allowed to Côte d'Ivoire to be listed at the 110th place
du rapport Doing Business 2020 de la Banque mondiale.
of the report doing business 2020 of the World Bank.
Locomotive économique du continent africain,
Our country is one of the leaders in the African continent
où il a très tôt affiché sa volonté d'intégration.
that really primarily was able to put his name.
Oui, la Côte d'Ivoire est la porte d'entrée de l'Afrique de l'Ouest,
Yes, Côte d'Ivoire is a welcoming place of the West Africa,
un marché de plus de 320 millions d'habitants
a market of more than 320 million
à l'échelle de la CEDEAO
to the ECOWAS report, yes.
et 120 millions d'habitants au niveau de l'UEMOA.
120 million inhabitants in UEMOA.
Elle contribue à elle seule à 40% du PIB de la zone UEMOA.
Côte d'Ivoire itself contributes to 40% to the GDP of the UEMOA
et abrite une proportion équivalente de tout le tissu industriel du dit espace.
and basically is a central place that allowed and absorbed all the central marketplace in the West
La Côte
Africa.
d'Ivoire se félicite de sa présence à ce forum
Côte d'Ivoire is very grateful to be here
et voudrait réitérer ici son engagement à accompagner les investisseurs.
and would like to say to the investment that they're going to be working with them.
Cet engagement se matérialise à travers les ministères et structures techniques d'appui du secteur privé présentes
This engagement is materialized by the fact that we have some interagency present up here,
et beaucoup d'entre eux interviendront au cours des différentes sessions pendant ces 2 jours.
and a lot of them will be participating actively to this forum.
La vision du président de la République, son Excellence Alassane Ouattara,
The vision of our president, His Excellency President Alassane Ouattara,
de faire de la Côte d'Ivoire un pays émergent,
to bring Côte d'Ivoire in an emergency level,
ne peut s'envisager
will only be
en dehors d'une implication plus accrue du secteur privé national et international.
without the great implication of the international
C'est
communities.
pourquoi j'invite les investisseurs privés nationaux et internationaux
That's the reason why I'm inviting the investment internationally and nationally,
et particulièrement ceux de notre pays frère, les États-Unis,
in
au
particular,
nom de son Excellence M. Amadou Gon Coulibaly,
that under the name of our Prime Minister Amadou Gon Coulibaly,
Premier ministre de la République de Côte d'Ivoire,
Prime Minister of Côte d'Ivoire,
vous souhaitez de fructueux échanges.
wishing you fructuous exchanges.
Je reste à votre disposition pour des questions éventuelles.
I will be disposed to answer eventual
Je vous
questions.
remercie de votre aimable attention.
I would like to thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Minister Asis. Thank you very much, Ambassadors Ibo and Ambassador Kamara. And especially thank you, Frank Sahu, who did an amazing job translating. Big round of applause. At this point, I would like to invite up Christian Dunbar, the Treasurer of Philadelphia, and the members of the panel. Really, thank you so much. It turns out that as part of this session, Kristen, feel free to go up or we'll be giving you a mic to introduce the members of your panel. The good news is we'll be able to see the movie and hear from the panel. So with that, I turn it over to Christian and his panel.
Thank you.
We're going to play the movie?